This is March 2nd of 2020, and we're going to go over the fundamentals of Keyforge today. My name's Andrew, or One Star Peeps. Basically, I don't know, you guys should definitely check me out. Don't trust everything I say. I'm bad at the game. Well, I'll always consider myself bad at the game. You can always improve and always get better, and that's the goal. We're going to always get better together today. But this is mostly focused at I've never played Keyforge, or I just started playing Keyforge and I want to learn how to get better at the game. Hopefully, this is like I picked up my first deck, and what do I do now? How do I play? What's the first day skills to try and get better? So please ask questions. Yeah, that's what I got for you. This is a little bit more than I'm not quite ready to give lectures. I'm not a teacher. I'm a software developer. Anyways, what do we want to talk about today? Today, the first thing we want to talk about is basically Bouncing Deathworks cards plus board. So our new cards plus board today. That's handwriting's bad. Plus board. Yeah. Cards plus board. It's the most basic concept in the game that you can go over. It's like the equivalent of like card advantage in most other games. If you're not familiar with how Keyforge works, you get to, at the start of your turn, you get to pick one card, or you get to pick one of your three houses, and then you can play all the cards of your hand that match that house and use all the creatures and artifacts of that house as well. So what cards plus board is saying is you look at your hand and you count how many cards in your hand are of a house, and then you add that to the number of cards on the board that match that house, and whatever house is the greatest is the house you pick. Here, let's do equals house. Equals house. So that's lesson number 1 of Keyforge. This most basic fundamental way of just trying to decide what house you should play every turn. Basically, by doing this, it optimizes the number of actions you take per turn, and that's pretty much the most important, the most powerful thing you could do every turn is whoever does the most things throughout the game will probably win the game. This is the most fundamental thing of Keyforge. The people who coined the term Cards Plus Boards podcast called Bouncing Deathwork. Go check them out. They did a great job covering all the fundamentals of the game that you want to go over. At least within the first year of Keyforge. I don't believe they're creating a new podcast, but it's all, as far as I know, there's nothing dated about it. So that's Cards Plus Board, why you should care about it. Let's take a look at, if you've just started playing Keyforge and you haven't joined the Master Vault or done anything with the website, you should definitely do that. So sorry, not quite there. There we go. This is the Master Vault. You should go here. Keyforge. Oh, well, that's what I get for maximizing. Keyforgegame.com. Go there and register your decks. You can take a look at my decks that I have. It's an okay website for just, you basically have to track all your decks here. You can search your decks by cards, so we can look up, I don't know, Dr. Escotera. I can't spell, but you get the idea. Let's see, what's a better one? Ghostly Hand. Just singular hand? There we go. Yeah, so now it's easy. It's an easy way to search your decks for all your decks that contain a singular card, or you can do other filters by house. I have 2 decks that have Brobnar, Logos, Shadows, and Ghostly Hand in it. But anyways, today we're going to be going over and playing the Unpublished Quantum online today. It's pretty apt for Keyforge class number 1. If we take a look at this deck, it's got a bunch of cool stuff. Mostly, this is one of my favorite decks to play in general. It's a lot of fun. It's just a really big board deck. So I think it's perfect for going over the concept of cards plus board. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, how many creatures, but for the most part, it just feels there's a good number of Brobnar creatures. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus a War Drummer. And then triple Quixo the Adventurer is going to give us a lot of skirmish and a Titan mechanic. And then double Big Twig, it's the biggest creature minus Mushroom Man in Untamed, and a Giant Sloth. So this deck is all about playing big creatures, keeping a board, and hopefully we'll just be able to use cards plus board most of the game to figure out what the best play is. The only times when cards plus board doesn't really work is when situational cards pop up, like Coward's End. They're in your hand. They're not always good, obviously, so you don't necessarily want to pick cards plus board. Also, the second option you can always do, if you want to go cards plus board, but you have these other cards in your hand, you always... The first rule of trying to pick your house, first rule of Keyforge is always cards plus board. And then secondary to that is you always play all cards or discard all. Hopefully that worked. Yeah. Yeah, good job, Andrew. Handwriting is my strong suit. So the goal of like cards plus board plus play all your cards or discard your cards is cycle through your deck. This is the basic way to cycle through your deck as fast as possible. Unless you have crazy cards like Library Access or current Worlds Collide or even AOA logos will help you go a little bit faster. But for the most part, they'll still fall under the cards plus board rule because you'll draw so many more cards. But by cycling through all your cards faster, you get access to more. You get access to more of your cards, and you get to play more cards, and that's the goal. Whoever plays the most cards and does the most things will generally win. That's pretty much true of all card games. So that's what we're going over today, and we'll definitely see some cases where we want to discard cards. Pretty much the only card in this deck that we'll ever consider discarding is this Coward's End. It's the only one with chains. That's generally an indicator of cards that you will discard. The other option is this Key Charge. While this is a powerful card, hey, thank you for the host, all for one. I appreciate that. I need to create new. I am really bad and have not created the proper alerts. I just have all the default stuff minus followers. Anyways, so yeah. Key Charge and Coward's End are the only two cards in this deck that we'll probably ever consider discarding. Everything else just is value, at the very least a creature. And I don't see the only other reason. So that's play and discard will always happen. Play all your cards or discard all your cards, or some combination of the two. Never leave a card in your hand of the active house. That's like, these are the most fundamental, basic ways they'll play Keyforge. If you're not doing this already and haven't considered this before, this is definitely step one to becoming a better Keyforge player. Is you're gonna start with these two fundamentals and then learn the exceptions. And so today we're just gonna play a couple games and understand why these are the fundamentals. Here we go. I guess if you're new to Keyforge, this is the Crucible Online. It is the best place to play Keyforge if you can't go to the store. You should definitely create an account here and add decks, just real quickly, just to show that I am not, just to be like, hey, this is me. I have about, I don't know how many decks are in a set here. I have a bunch of decks on here. I come here all the time. I play as much as I can. The Crucible Online, or TCO, is pretty much one of the best tools ever for Keyforge. You can come here and play any of your decks. You can also come here and try decks that you've never played before, or before you purchase them, if you want to buy stuff on the secondary market or whatever. This is the place to do it. But actually, let's transfer over to this one. There we go. It's a little bit better for you guys because we're going to play some TCO right now. So today we're going to play the Unpublished Quantum. and thankfully I don't have to spell. I'm not good at spelling, handwriting. I'm not English. I'm not a teacher either, but here we go. I got the classic Blackboard stuff. So we're gonna jump in. We're gonna just play. I guess I'll just play whatever game I can find. Boop. Oh, fine. Yeah. Filter, unpublished content. And whenever they go. So, join TCO. It's great. It makes playing Keyforge super easy. We're going to start the game. You should technically you're allowed to look at your opponent's deck list, but we're not going to do that today. We're not going to go over that. All right, so opening hands, Double Dust Pixie. So we've got 3 cards of a house down here. And then 2, and 2 is basically, it's okay. It's fine. I'm going to keep this. And for our first turn, I'm going to play Mushroom Man. So we're going to play this big creature. It has +3 power for every unforged key I control. Oh, I got it in my turn. And it's just a big scary thing. And okay, so there's a couple things here to consider. They have shadows. They are very likely to have steal effects. So if I can build a board before I create Amber, it generally helps a lot. So we're going to go back into Untamed. Cards plus board. We still have 3 cards of our Untamed stuff. Hopefully they don't have a bunch of steal, but they just played 2 Shadows creatures. Or 2 Shadows cards. 3 Shadows cards? Wow, double lights out. They're also just playing cards plus board as well. Burning a lot of removal. More removal. Oubliette. Okay. So they get to purge a creature that has 3 power or less. Back to us. Cards plus board. Alright. So we got 2 Untamed cards. A 3rd Untamed card here. Hunting Witch. So that'd be 3. 3 Brobnar cards and 2 Logos cards. So I'm going to go with actually Brobnar. Because Hunting Witch gets a lot better if you read it when you have more Untamed cards in your hand. So because we're even, we're going to pick Brobnar. And we're just going to go for it. These smashes enter play and they stun a creature. So we're just going to pile all of our stuns onto this Shadow Self. And there we go. So now what we're seeing is this is pretty much how Keyforge works. As you play as the first couple turns, you're always going to wind up building a board of 2 or 3 houses. Especially when you follow cards plus board, because you're just going to wind up, these 2 Logos cards were already in our hand, and now we've got 2 more Logos cards, and it's very hard. Now let's see, we have 3 Brobnar cards on the board, so this 4 is still greater than anything we have, and now we have 4 Untamed cards. What did they do? They did a bunch of stuff. They played a Lab Work, a Narrow Siphon. Anything else? No? That's it. So yeah, you can always, in TCO, you can always come back and review the logs to see what's been going on. Wow, everything's so zoomed out. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna pick Logos. Actually, so Phase Shift kind of counts as an extra card, so we probably get 5 cards here. So we're just gonna burst a bunch of Amber here. We're gonna go Logos. We're gonna do Phase Shift a Hunting Witch out. And now our creatures are extra cards essentially in our deck. Or our extra Logos cards are going to kind of count as untamed cards in this case. Mostly for the sake of this Hunting Witch. Or basically made this Hunting Witch a Logos card. So we played 5 cards this turn, which is significantly higher than anything else that we have. And now we have 7 Amber. So it's pretty simple, just straightforward. Cards plus board will definitely carry you through a game. Especially when your deck's pretty solid to begin with. So now we're just waiting around to figure out what they're going to do. What else we got going on? So now we're going to approach another concept that we're not really going to go over today, but once you start entering, like, this is like more mid-gamey, there's something called the delta. So I'm just going to draw a little triangle here because I like using triangles for the term delta. Alright, first we get a forged key. Awesome, we did it. We're going to forge the red key. So I'll go over delta. we don't care about the delta right now. The delta is you take the house that has the most number of creatures. So we've got 3 or artifact. We'll call it permanents. We've got 3 logos, and we've got 1, 2, 3 untamed, and they have 1 of any. So you find the one with the most. We're tied at 3, and they have 1. So our delta is 2. 3 minus 1, so 2. So our delta is in our favor by 2. Cards plus board, say we have 4 untamed cards in our hand, plus 3 on the board. That's 7. So we're going to take an untamed turn here. We don't care about the Shadow Self, honestly, until they play something. But we've got actually some good stuff here, so we're going to play our Big Twigs. And we just gain some amber off our Hunting Witch. And we're going to play this Lost in the Woods. So this is part of the always play or discard thing here. If you're new to the game, and you might see these removal cards, like Lost in the Woods, you might be tempted to hold on to them. And then like wait for a better opportunity to play them. I think I want to put my Smash back into my deck in this case. Or sorry, let's continue the thought. You might be tempted to hold on to your removal cards until they are optimal or whatever, if you're like, come from Magic efficient. But in this case, we just want to get we want to get cards out of our hand, and B, Lost in the Woods lets us put play effect creatures back in our deck, which is super good for us. We want to be able to redraw our Dust Pixie and redraw our Smash, because the most of their value comes from their play effect in this case. So honestly, I think it's still, we traded 3 cards for their 1, which is like, if you're familiar with like Magic and the concepts of card advantage, that's unacceptable. Like most cases, if this was somehow Magic, that would be a horrible trade, and you would never do that. But Keyforge is different, card advantage is different. We just want to play all. Lost in the Woods Lost in the Woods does have an Amber Pip, so we do want to play that card. We want the Amber. Neutron Shark comes down. But yeah, so we're going to play all of our cards. We're going to get as much Amber as we can. That's the goal here. We're going to keep using our cards plus board. This is basically the best deck I have to just run with that concept as much as possible. All right, so they've now played 3 Logos creatures. So their delta is now, they're catching up in delta. In terms of delta, we have 3 Logos creatures and 1, 2, 3 untamed creatures. All right, so they're trying to reduce, but we have some redundancy, so we're a little bit stronger. It's going to be hard for them to actually reduce the delta to a point where we don't just have an advantage, because they only can trade 1 for 1 with their Neutron Shark. All right, so cards plus board. We've got 2 Brobnar cards, and this is a Brobnar card, Bumpsy. We've got 4 in hand, so that's 6 versus 3, 4 for Logos. So we're going to forge another key. So we're going to go with Brobnar. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fight this Neutron Shark, because we don't want them trying to reduce the delta any more than that. And then we just reap, because they don't have anything else. We'll play this to the left. We're going to discard Coward's End, because it's definitely not good for us. And we're going to, number 2, play or discard all your cards. We're definitely discarding this card. We don't need this card. We don't ever expect to play this card anytime soon. I'm mostly playing my creatures to the left right now, because I think we have such a nice lead that if I can get this Titan mechanic on the flank, it's going to be a big threat for them. And here's a nice little weird ruling thing. Cards like Anger that ready and fight a creature. If you ready a creature of the active house and they can't fight, then they at least are done. They are ready. And so now we can reap with the card that we readied and get some extra Amber. So this is cards plus board, how it works out. Alright, so we talk about playing as many cards as possible. I don't necessarily think War Drum or returning cards to your hand counts as extra plays, so it's really specifically cards plus board, not playing as much stuff as you can. That's like I was saying, they played their own, they had a mimicry. So they used their card to copy my Coward's End to clear my board. Cool. Okay. I think. All right, so we're still on cards plus board. I think we're okay enough. That doesn't matter. We have 1 plus 3, 4 Brobnar cards. They have 2. Wits of the Eye is a serious threat. It's really tempting to play the Positron Bolt just to kill the Wits of the Eye. It's such a powerful card, especially considering they have this mimicry. So they can just keep playing Coward's End or whatever to prevent me from creatures or whatever, or Lost in the Woods, probably something they should really consider. But we're gonna go Brobnar. We're not gonna. I don't really want. Oops. Sorry, I only say oops because this is just a bunch of unnecessary clicking that I have to do. I don't really care about the position of my creatures. I could have just played the War Drummer first and not have to replay all my creatures. But anyways, here we are. So, yep, Witch of the Eye is going to reap. Get back a card from their discard pile. I get back Mimicry. They got back Nocturnal Maneuvers. Okay. So they're going to tap down 3 of our creatures. And Bear kills War Drummer. Alright, so cards plus board, I guess, kind of doesn't really consider exhausted creatures. In this case, I don't have any. I have Gengar Chieftain. I essentially have one Brobnar card I can play, and I can use 0 Brobnar cards. So cards plus board now says I should go into Untamed. That's fine. We're gonna go into Untamed. Nocturnal Maneuvers will buy us a turn with the Hunting Witch. We will discard our key charge, because discard all your cards or play all your cards. And then we can play this Piranha Monkeys, which will play and deals 2 damage to everything. And that's here we go. Alright, so playing this cards plus board, you can see we have 7 cards left in our deck to their 13 cards in their deck. And that's pretty much what it's doing for us. We're just playing more cards every turn, and we're doing more things than them. Even though they got this Hunting Witch for a turn, and they board wiped us, it's been actually we've been doing really well. And they got the Shadow Self here. They did play. Alright, they played a Ghostly Hand, so they played 2 cards. So we've got 4, 3, and 2, so we'll play the 4. We're gonna go Barabnar. So let's see. I would like to gain some amber, so we're gonna fight here. This guy, Headhunter here, gains 1 amber when it fights. It now has 5 damage on it. We can fight here. We got another good fight effect. This creature makes them lose amber whenever it kills a creature. And then let's see. What am I gonna do? We're going to. I think I'm just gonna reap with this creature. Then we're going to play this Fire Spitter to the left, and then we're gonna play this Gengar Chieftain to the left, and it's going to fight here, and they conceded. Good job, good game. And that's a the unpublished Quantum, perfect for Keyforge class, and just basically a deck that really, this is simple, straightforward, good classic Keyforge. Keyforge as Garfield intended. That's it. We're gonna play Third Degree Yeats next, and this time we're gonna play a deck we haven't gone over yet, but it's called Trekker, the Trillicent. This one? Yeah, here it is. Basically, the deal with this deck, it is mostly action. I think it has like 12 creatures in it. I guess we can do this. We can open this up over here. No, we can't. We can open it up here. Hey, why would you do that to me? There we go. So we're going second finally. This is a little rough. There's some things about this deck we definitely don't want the Rises or the Gateway early. So I'm actually going to keep this hand. It's a little rough. This deck is a rush deck, but it's a little weird. Stealing Amber. How much should I care about that? That's fine, I guess. We're going to go Sanctum. We're going to play this action. We're going to play this other action. And I'm going to play or discard this card. I'm tempted to give this Amber Spine. Oh, whenever it reaps, it gains. They also gain Amber. I think that's fine. I think they can have it. I don't care that much about it. So now they have really buff Amber Spine Michael, but we gained Amber off of it. We have these these guys is good removal. We have this Gateway if we need to, and this Hand of Dis in this deck to take care of it. Ink of the Spider also will be okay. Worst case scenario, we have this Save the Pack here. They're really going all in on protecting this Amber Spine Mongrel. They're like, thank you. So cards plus board, we have no. This deck is the easiest thing in the world for cards plus board because it has no creatures. So there's no board to consider, which is a little unfortunate for things like this. And this full moon is really rough. Untamed. Play this full moon. Discard the Save the Pack. Play the Fog Bank. They're not allowed to attack on their next turn, and then we'll play this Hunting Witch, and we end our turn. They can't fight. So hopefully this Hunting Witch actually lives. That'd be great. Because then, I mean, they might just, yeah, hopefully this Hunting Witch lives. Then I can play these two creatures and gain some more Amber, stun their stuff, and have some threats on the board. But yeah, cards with board, we're at 3 and 3. So really whatever direction we want to go in that case. Nature's Call. Ooh, alright. They're gonna return 2 0 cards. They're returning their wow. Okay. I've never seen someone return a Hunting Witch before. I mean, it's just generally a really safe, it's a lot safer in my hand than it is on the board. Alright, we're gonna go Untamed again. We're gonna play the Hunting Witch. Play this guy on the right. We are going to stun that one. And we'll play a Witch of the Eye. And we'll end our turn. Cool. I was really hoping to draw some more Sanctum cards because I imagine they're going to start fighting soon. And then this Cleansing Wave will get us some extra value, but it doesn't matter. We're probably just going to discard this Arise here. It's not doing us any favors. I mean, we could get back all of our Untamed stuff and just play the same Untamed next turn. It's not quite what I want to do. I actually need to find my board control in this deck at this point. Just anything to start dealing with these things. Yep, they fought the Hunting Witch. Makes sense. Wonder if they're gonna fight. Wow, they're going to Sanctum. Yep. So cards plus board is now in the favor of Dis. Fight Inca? Or choose not to use the... Oh, trade. Okay. I would think they would almost be willing to let me reap with Witch of the Eye. They get 2 Amber every time I reap with Witch of the Eye. And I don't have anything in my discard pile that actually deals with their board. Alright. Forge the red key. We're going to go with Dis. Unfortunately, we're going to play all of our cards. We don't care about Inca that much. Deal 1 damage to all their things. Play this Jumble. Maybe. Actually, I mean, getting these 3 back, as much as I was saying I don't want to do it, they're putting a lot of effort. Maybe I do it. Okay. I changed my mind. I'm wrong. We're going to get back all of our Untamed stuff. And we're just going to play it again. I think we're far enough ahead that I can afford to just keep racing them, and this is a racing deck. I should be trying to race and not control things as much. What'd they do? They killed my Drumble, which I don't care about. They discard their Amber Imp. That's them discarding cards. Play cards or discard cards. Alright, this Lash is going to be good for them. They discard their 3 Fates. They pop their Sigil. They know I just picked up creatures that need to die. I thought for sure they're going to save that for next turn. If they saved it for next turn, they basically gained 2 Amber here, but they could have used that to fight off these Witches, which are super important. So we're going to gain some more Amber ourselves. And stun their board. So I'm tempted to stun the Grey Rider just because it's 2 creatures worth of activations they get. Yeah, it's probably better. Alright, I'm going to stun the Grey Rider. And then we're going to heal our own Witch of the Eye and end our turn. We don't want to use... I want to save this Life Ward for whenever they... whenever I get my Gateway. So ideally I want a Gateway and then Life Ward. This Cleansing Wave is not going to do good work for us. Or he's going to get some value for us. Oh, cool. They have... so Darna gains the 1 Amber for every damaged creature that they had. Oh, but it's moving. It moved this Amber Spy Mongrel off the flank, so it no longer gets the benefit of the shoulder armor. Flaxia, cool. They're rushing ahead themselves. With their interesting, they're letting my Witch of the Eye live. 4 cards. There we go. Any excuse, right? Cards plus board. What card would I want to get back? I could get back my... That's actually pretty good. I might be able to Fog Bank lock them. We're going to go with Untamed. Alright. Right. This Amber Spine, they're going to gain 2 Amber. That was a mistake. Shoot. We definitely should not have done that. I got so excited to reap with Witch of the Eye, but I'm going to give them 6 Amber if I just go into Untamed. I can't afford that either. The right. It's worth it here to give them 2 to get back Fog Bank, I think. And I think I'm just going to call it there. Maybe I fight, actually. Fight here. I'll end my turn. No, I think, like I said, I wanted to wait for it, but I don't want them to build up a bigger board at this point. That was a big mistake on my part. But I do have these 2 Hunting Witches out now. And I have a lot of my Amber Control Bursty stuff in my disc. So hopefully we can make this up. They reap. Cool. Amber Spy Mongrel's back on the flank. It's whatever. So we're going to go Sanctum in this case. Because it's a tie between all the 3. As much as I mean, that would be 3 Amber, but I actually really like these play effects if they work right together. So we're going to just gain a bunch of Amber here. We can go ahead and put, we'll kill the Grey Rider? Nah, I'll put some damage on the Amber Spine Mongrel. We lost our Tendrils already, right? Yeah, a lot of the 1Z, 2Z damage. Maybe I should have put it on the Grey Rider just to get rid of it. So they might go into this here to stop me from forging. Oh, cool. They have some good stuff to do in this as well. Hopefully, I hope they get some more. Ooh, what are they? Oh, shoot. They're going to play Restraint against this and hope they might... I don't know what they're going to pick here. I have a lot of good choices in my house. So if they pick this, that would be the worst for me. That puts them closest to winning. But then they need a way to deal with my board. They picked this. Okay. That's fine by me. What I actually want to do in this case, I guess we'll go with Sanctum. Because we don't want to reap. We don't want to give them Amber. So we can't reap, so we don't really get a lot of advantage by picking Untamed here. So we'll get cards out of our hand. Cards plus board. Fight here. Play Shield of Justice. And look at us, we're at 8 Amber. They need to go into this once again. They use Lash. They fight a Witch, probably. Oh, they reap. They're going to 6. They have no fear. Banished. You have to archive one of my creatures. Archive my Witch of the Eye. Cool, they went up to 8. This is great. Cool, so we get to go to this now. No thank you. We're going to play this Schuler on the right. Steals them, they go down to 7. Then we play this Drumble, and we're going to capture everything they have. And then we're going to play this Terror, because they have no Amber, we gain 2. And then we're going to play this Dust Imp, and our own Lash. And this is how you win a game without reaping. Cards plus board. Play all your cards, discard all your cards. If they had a way to stop us here and kill the Rumble, actually we have this Arise. That's one of the beauties of this deck. And we just get to replay that last turn again. And we did it. And they left the game. Good game. 3-degree yeets. Appreciate it. Yeah. So cardless board, as you can see, definitely is really good. I mean, it's solid. It's a solid first level strategy. We haven't I haven't even been tempted to really deviate from it much with these two decks. Mostly because I'm picking them because they are really for that purpose. Like they're just you play your best cards and you do what you can, as much as you can, as often as you can. I might want to go check out a different deck that is not very good at cards plus board. That's pretty much almost all Untamed decks, or sorry, all Worlds Collide decks. If I think about it, Rocket Hill Ball. Ignore that. This deck's solid. We'll go. Move this out of the way. I'll move this one out of the way for a second. All right, so Worlds Collide definitely changes the cards plus board math a lot. Actually, does it really? So this is, it might not change the cards plus board math, but it changes how you go from, as you saw those last games, it was always, you always just kept rotating through all your houses. You almost never went back to back until you had a really massive board, which just doesn't happen often, except in very specific decks like the Unpublished Quantum. This deck, on the other hand, it has Jericho, which lets you play extra cards out of your hand of the non-active house, and Kirby, which does the same, and then a transporter platform to replay your Kirby effects, and then also a information officer Gray to archive your non-Starlands cards. So when this deck is doing its job, it's always you basically always call Starlands. Oops, can't see. Then you just have a lot of disruption here in Logos. And then the goal of this deck is mostly you want to archive a bunch of your Brobnar stuff, and it'll just blow up the board with a flurry of cool Brobnar cards. Sometimes you're going to be using your Kirby to play your Fire Breath and your Bruise onto the Jericho, just because Jericho is amazing. One of the best cards in the game. Work. One more time. How's it going? Yeah, should say hi. Welcome to Keyforge class number 1. Today's lesson is all about cards plus board. Well, it's not. Hopefully we get to see all the strengths and weaknesses of it. and then play, discard everything, and then kind of slightly touching on the Delta concept. Thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, my roommate, this used to be his room, and he had this chalkboard wall. And so I was like, hey, you know what? It'd be great. I got my own room. I don't have to do this in the living room anymore. So, yeah. I'm going first. I guess I'm going to keep this hand. We're going to play some logos. Maybe I should play the logos. Lets me, no, I don't have actions that I really want to play. I'm going to play the Hapsis. It's going good over here. That was for me. I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing well. All right, ammonia clouds. It's a good way to start. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go Broadnark, Herds plus board. We're gonna have the biggest Hapsis. I'm gonna stun everything. Having burritos last time. I do eat a lot of burritos. That is very possible. I'm going to continue to discard this little Rapskull. I guess I could swirl it. I could swirl it if I have to. I think I'll be okay. I don't remember eating burritos on stream, but like, I do like burritos. So it does sound like me. I should draw a burrito on the board because I can. Okay. Cards plus board. We've got a lot of logos, so we're gonna go logos. We'll play the Igor first. Overrun, Red Alert, Jericho. Put Jericho in my hand, thank you, please, right now. Do I swirl the... Let's fight first. This is 3 splash damage? 2 splash damage. We'll fight Zizix. Get our ward. Graft? Sure. Am I gonna go... I don't... I really want to... That will deal 4 damage. I could kill the Sequus right here. God, that's tempting. Man, I'm getting greedy here. I really just... This Rapskull is going to be the end of me. I'm going to have to go Bravnar. I could plasma. Can I plasma it? Nope, has to be my own creatures. Alright. Sanctum Guardian. Heal some stuff. Oh, it does have taunt, but I have a big Hapsis. Hazardous too? Okay. More logos. Time. I'm gonna reap with Quant. Oh, I have to fight. It's this Rapskull. Okay. That's fine. Whatever, man. Wait, what? Oh, it has hazardous. Oh, I'm dumb. I forgot about the hazardous. I was like, oh, it's fine. It has ward. It won't die. That's unfortunate. By a whole lot. And I'm losing a lot of... Oh, this makes me so sad. I don't... I could fight... There is some advantage to fighting because it makes it easier to put Jericho in the center. Alright. Trade some wards. Fight. Curse you, Robnar. Well, Rapskull gets to not be a pain anymore. Tunk. What we got? Well, yeah. Curses. Alright, well, you're right. We do get a key. We're going to go Brobnar. This is the most I think I've ever called Brobnar with this deck. Rapskull, you fight here. You die. You pay for your sins. Do I buff Gravel Guts? Probably. Fight the Tunk. Here we go. Big Gravel Guts. This is the most I've ever not buffed Jericho. This is very strange. Jericho's best card. Alright, so what do we get? We get 3. We get to go Starlines next turn. That's pretty good. Cleansing Wave. Oh, that's cool. What? Did they just play how many times? Did they play 2 Cleansing Waves? No. They did things, I guess. Cool. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just keep going Brobnar. It's honestly not a bad choice. Alright. Brobnar. Use this card's ability. They take some damage. Fight. Reap. Trying to brew up Quant. They use, yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna make Mega Grok better. He's gonna be a big fighting boy. Yeah, Healing Blaster did a thing, right? It totally look how good this card is. It healed that card. It healed it and then it died. Yeah, this is a Worlds Collide Brobnar versus Coda Sanctum. Ooh, Battlefleet, nice. I have one or two decks with Battlefleet that I actually like. Alright, so these Brobnar artifacts are really throwing off this cards plus board math. I would really like to start playing Star Alliance, please. Please kill some Brobnar creatures so I can there's just so much card advantage in the future from these two. I guess I get 5, right? I get 1. Can I get Jericho in the center? No. Add 2. Unless I Positron Bolt my own guys. Wow. Look at all these creatures. They soft landing a thing? Okay. And I get to archive a card? I do have Kirby. You're right. I do have Kirby now. Alright. Is Kirby enough? Yeah, Kirby's enough. Still at 5. 5 to 5. Alright, Starlines. Play Jericho. Play Kirby. Do I pull him off check? Or they can have it. I think I'm gonna give it to them. I don't want that Mind Warper on the board, honestly. I think they're gonna go Mars a whole bunch, and then it's gonna be bad for me. And that's my turn. Oh, right. Well, here's every Star Alliance card in my deck, just floating here at the bottom. Yeah. I think at least in my mind, cards plus board is oh, you mean like Haps's kind of card draw? Cards plus board is how many cards you can play. I do count the Kirby and Jericho's as extra plays. or extra cards in the cards plus board math. Mm-hmm. I'm just bad at. I just. You're right. You had it right. Cards plus board math. That's why we just. That's. Today is not. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, a lot of today is not necessarily playing optimally. It's about playing cards plus board, and we're just gonna. The goal is to figure out, find where it's learn the fundamentals, and then later we'll try and better. The more we understand how cards plus board works, the more we can understand when we want to make exceptions for it. Yeah. Great. I don't have anything. So what do I get to bounce? Nope. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. I guess I can bounce my friends. Nope, I don't have. This is weird. I have a lot of all this amber control. I don't. My Kirby bounces don't do anything. My information officer bounces don't do anything. My friend bounces don't do anything. It's a transporter platform. What are you doing? All right. Okay. So transporter platform. We're gonna go Starlines. We're gonna reap. We're going to fight with Groke. Nope, Groke. Fight with Calfine. Or play an action. Fight with Calfine. Do we fight with Calfine? I guess so. Have to get to that mother somehow. Yeah. You fight the Bookton. Fight the mechanic. Get some damage, clear some board. Yeah, okay. I talked myself into it. Boom. Okay. Play this creature on the right, and we'll archive information exchange so Kirby doesn't have to play it. Haha. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, I messed this up. I want to transporter platform. Actually, that's not fine. I'm gonna return the. Should have reaped first. But I wanted to put the Melina next to the Kirby, so it would be protecting the Kirby. Alright, so here we are. We have our board. They have a bunch, but we get to capture 2 every turn. Or 3 if we really need to. We have the information exchange 2 on hand if we need it. Yeah, this deck is a lot of fun. We get to call Starlines every single turn and still play cards plus board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 Starlands creatures. I love it. This deck is actually, so the very first time I ever did a Keyforge quilt draft, this was one. My deck was one of the decks in that we used. We spliced two decks together and we drafted them together. Some Italian stuff's going on. Wonder what that means. For some reason, Clicker Drag is not working for me. Works over here. We'll play Frankus, Commander Remiel. We're gonna forge our blue key. We're gonna call Starlines. Oh, that's interesting. Do I take the, yeah, I'll take that into my hand. Okay, so... Is there a way I can give them 1 amber so I can cut through research? I don't think so. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so Jericho's in the center. What do I want to do about that? I want to probably play this guy. So if that's the case, I'm going to actually play medic on the right. We're going to ward Frayne. And then we can transport a platform. The medic. Or... well, I already did it. Transport a platform, the medic. So now we can play Gengar Chieftain on the left. And then we can fight here, I think. Then we'll capture one on the Gengar Chieftain. Oh, I guess I could have reaped Frame first. I'm missing a lot of value here. Alright. We'll ward. Reap. Play information exchange. Reap. Put one on the Mega Grook. Reap here. Reap with Quant. Play Grook's Brew. Brew up. I don't know what I want to brew up. Let's brew up Jericho. Reap with this. We will archive the Twin Bolt. Reap. Do I fight here? I don't care. I guess I fight the Frankus just to minimize their amber control. I don't need more amber. Play Red Alert. I guess I can reap with Melina. End my turn. Go, Star Alliance, go! Yep. So this is my deck. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I did it. GG. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope we all learned a bit about Cards Plus Board. I mean, honestly, Cards Plus Board is gonna get you through 90% of your turns, I think. I mean, I guess there's some small optimizations you could probably make. You might even come down to like 70% of your turns, but if it's ever like 50-50, there's a good chance you're gonna go just do Cards Plus Board. That's the lesson for today. I'll see you. Thank you guys for showing up, and I guess I can hang out. We got 10 more minutes. Anyone have any questions before I start? Before I head out, hang out. Yeah, thank you for coming. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, new schedule in the morning. Maybe Saturday tournaments. Although we're done with Prime Championships here down in Southern California, so I might just do like local chainbound stuff for a while. But this is great. Good excuse for me to get out. But if anyone has any questions that I could answer, we could talk some strategy for a minute. What do you think about Cards Plus Board? How often do you think you don't use it? How often do you go away from Cards Plus Board, essentially? Is it 70% of the time, 50% of the time? Also, I guess today I kind of picked a lot of decks that were specifically work really well on Cards Plus Board. I have a couple other ones that have a lot more narrow. I have one deck in mind we can take a look at if you want. We're going to my decks, Elder. Elder Fallout. This one. I brought it to a couple of Vault Tours because I like it a lot. Oops. Ooh, that's not what I meant to move on to this one. Alright. Mostly, so this deck, I think, is interesting in cards plus board math. Mostly because this Doorstep to Heaven is super important for the deck. It's basically its only form of Amber control. Only real way to remove Amber from the game. The rest of it is like Pandemonium and Honorable Claim to capture a bunch of it, and then the Grabber Jammers. I guess that also technically gets rid of Amber. So the whole function of this deck is capture as much as you can, wait for them to destroy it, and then use Doorstep to Heaven. So it's super important that I don't ever play this card until it hits like 5, maybe 4 plus Amber at least. Even then, 4 sounds a little light for me. A little bit lower than I would like. Other things that happen, sometimes you just have to play your Grabber Jammers to stall for a little bit. For the most part, I guess Cards Plus Board does well in here, but there's just some awkward turns. Like the Dis stuff is okay. A Fair Game really wants you to build up a big Dis hand. So that way you can dump it all and minimize the amount of a fair gameness, make the game a little less fair. But the 2 control weeks are good with fair game, but there's not creatures or artifacts really to use with it. There's a Bauble and a couple of these guys down here. So my control of weeks, I don't get a lot of value out of them. It's mostly an excuse to buy me a turn to continue setting up my board in the other 2 houses. It can, yeah. This is the one I think about the most when I think about not Cards Plus Board. But now that I think about it, talking about it now, it feels a little. Thank you. It probably actually hits Cards Plus Board a lot. Yeah. So that's what I've got going on with Cards Plus Board Day. Trying to get out of 2/2 hands, like predicting the cards that you're going to draw. So that's an excuse for getting out of 2/2. Trying to get out of 2/2 hands and setting up a bigger board is an excuse for not doing Cards Plus Board. The 2-minute description is if you have a 2/2 hand or your hand's kind of bad and you want to build up, you kind of know your deck and you kind of pick, what house you want to have a lot of cards in. Bouncing Deathquark might call this your burst house. It's essentially the house that gets the most value out of playing 6 cards of that house that turn. Normally this feels like an Untamed or like a Mars kind of thing where you just play Hunting Witch and like 5 creatures. That's just like an amazing turn. And the longer you hold out building up that Untamed turn, the more bursty it is. So if you know what house you want to burst with, you can opt to choose not to play it in Cards Plus Board to build up for it. And then also you can do things like another excuse for cards to ignore Cards Plus Board is if you have a 2/2 hand, right? You look at your discard pile, and if you're lopsided in any of your houses, you will choose to play probably the lopsided house, the house that you've played the most of, just so that way you have a higher odds of playing like a 4-card turn on your next turn. I guess so. Like if you're like 3-2-1, and for some reason your 3s are okay, like the last deck we're looking at, they could have like Overrun, Fire Breath, and like a Brew in it, and like 2 Star Alliance cards with, or like 2, let's just say 2 Logos cards and Jericho or something. I could play like Quant Hapsis, and if I saw my deck was I played most of my Logos cards. I play the Quant Hapsis, and then try and draw into either in either case 2 more Star Alliance cards would be great, or getting up to 5 Brobnar cards like a Gengar Chieftain would just make the Brobnar side huge. So that's there's definitely reasons to break out of Cards Plus Board, and there's definitely some little tricks that you can use to make it so that you play the most cards over the course of the game instead of over the course of a turn. And that's I guess that's the real limitation of Cards Plus Board, is that it's such a narrow focus on just this turn and it doesn't take into account the actual game. Yeah. So I guess that's it for me. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and have a good day.